Hi there, Jamie Cunningham. Can I talk to you today about your daily number? Now, let me give you some context for this. Let's say you had a friend who's told you they were going to run a marathon and they want to get their personal best time. But throughout all their training, they didn't measure their times at all. Or if you had a friend who said they were looking to lose weight and they never did a weigh-in. I'm guessing you might suggest to that friend that it would be a good idea to start tracking their progress, right? Well, in business, we tend to do exactly the same thing. We go out and we set ourselves goals, or hopefully we do, and then we typically do a lousy job in tracking our progress against those goals. Now, here's the thing to keep in mind. Or let me put it to you this way. Let's say perhaps you've had this example of wanting to start a new habit. Perhaps it was wanting to floss your teeth more regularly, or spend more time being present with your kids, or maybe it's exercise more regularly. Now, let's say, well, think about something that you wanted to start. I'm sure you've got something, a practice or a habit that you want to start and get good at, or get more regular with. Now, think about the thing. If I asked you in the last month how many times you did that thing, what score would you give yourself? Now, I could almost guarantee that if you're not tracking this on a daily basis, you're going to give yourself a score that is higher than what reality is. Now, that's not because you're lying or trying to sound better than you think you are, but it's simply because typically our memories don't do a very good job. If we're trying to do something, it's in our mind, we're thinking about it. Sometimes we get mixed up between thinking about it and doing it. And that's just the way it is with human beings. So I've learned, and I do this when I work with teams, to start measuring the numbers, measuring the activity, because the numbers just don't lie. And it allows us to be very objective. So, let's say with sales teams, great example, sales very measurable. We start using what I call the sales game. And the sales game is simply a list of what the critical activities are that salesperson can do to move contacts forward towards making a sale. And it's things like making phone calls, having meetings, attending trade shows, networking events, those sorts of things. And it's measured on a daily basis, and we allocate points against each of those activities. And at the end of the week, you get X number of points. So what we find is that when people start doing that, their numbers are way lower than what they thought they were going to be, and they find it hard to actually score the points. Well, obviously we coach through that, and we rework it, we look at root causes, all that sort of stuff. But invariably, in a short period of time, those people are now self-managing because they can see their score, they know where they're at, they know the things they need to do to make a change, and the numbers start coming up. And when those numbers come up, the sales start coming up. And you'll find the same in all areas of your business. If it's production, say it's quality issues, or if it's absenteeism, or if it's employee turnover, whatever it might be, when you start measuring the numbers, and obviously you want to have a goal in mind of something you want to hit, it makes it very tangible and very manageable on a you can correct very quickly. If you're measuring, weekly is not bad, but still not nearly as good as daily. But if you're measuring monthly or quarterly or annually, it's just the feedback time is just too long to be able to make meaningful changes. But daily, that's why the number has to be simple, easy to measure. If you can measure daily, you can correct daily. And that means you can stay on track much better than if you were to, correct on a quarterly basis. So that's it. Start small. The number has to be easy to measure. That's why I like sales, because sales is nice and easy to measure. Start simple and expand it then to other areas of your business as you get competency with it. Share it at your daily meetings, because I'm sure you do have those. If you don't, it's a good idea. Share the number, and that keeps it in the focus for you. Anyway, have fun with it. Let me know how you go. I'd love to hear some success stories.